this particular topic because I was bullied as a kid by the women in my school, women in my neighborhood. And so I think this is what I think about bullying and people who are bullied. I think the reason why I allowed it, because you can only allow certain treatment. The reason why I allowed it because I was a very shy kid. I was reserved. I didn't have a good sense of self-esteem or security. I was very insecure. I wasn't very proud of myself. I didn't really know who I was. And I really believe that I attracted a lot of bullies around me into my life when I was younger. And the thing about being bullied is if you don't stand up for yourself, so there's two things. If you don't stand up for yourself or you're not proud of yourself, then you won't stop the bullying. You won't do anything about it. You'll just let it go on and go on and go on and go on. And that's what I did for a part of my, I would say like middle school, mostly middle school, elementary school, middle school. And what I found is that because I didn't stop the bullying, remember I said two things. You have to stand up for yourself to defeat the bullies. And you also have to be very proud of yourself and accepting of yourself and know yourself and love yourself to stand up to the bullies. And so I didn't do any of those things. So what I found is I carried that same treatment of being bullied into work. And I remember around right after September 11th, this is like 24 years ago? 24 years ago. So I was in my early 20s. It was like 24, 25. It was right around when September 11th happened. And I, at that time in my life, wasn't even proud to be Muslim. This is a recent development. So I felt like I was always sort of trying to fit in and sort of tried to hide my faith, and I wasn't practicing my faith, and I wasn't proud of who I was. So even in corporate, I was sort of always just trying to fit in and hide who I was. And then when September 11th happened, and sort of Muslims were in the spotlight on center stage, I found myself having to defend Islam because I may have been the only Muslim that my coworkers had ever met or ever talked to, ever knew. And I remember one time I was in the airport. I used to do conference planning, so we would travel to do conferences all over the U.S. I loved it. It was a beautiful job. It was like my first time like staying at 5-star properties and traveling all over America. It was so wonderful and going to amazing cities. It was lovely. I loved it. One of my favorite gigs I've ever had. But I remember one of my old managers in the airport as we were getting ready to fly, I think we were going to LA or something. This is right after